How you doing, YouTube? Matt Nassib Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of a civil society up in this piece in the form of their fresh, the Sabro edition. Yeah. It has been a hot minute since I've done a little bit of civil society beers. I used to get a decent amount of them from my boy, Jesus Christ, Ralph. How can I forget Ralph? I was just talking to him today. Literally, we were talking today. And a couple other guys from Florida have sent me some civil society stuff. It's been a while. Had my, hits and misses, more misses than hits when it comes to civil society. And it's been a while since I've really had something from these guys. So I'm kind of pumped to dive into them and see if they've progressed, see if they've changed. We'll see what's what. This beer comes courtesy of my boy John from Brewster Ales. And this is a 6.2% Sabro-based India Pale Ale with no date on it. So we will assume it's fresh because John is a brewer. He gives a poop. And most people give a poop, but you know what I'm saying. Extra poops. Anyway, let's give it a pour. So my modus operandi when it comes to talking about civil society was always a similar thing, which was it had the framework of a well-done New England style IPA, but it just missed this kind of core to it. There was this kind of center to the beer that was completely missing. I kind of associated with kind of like a donut and all kinds of weird analogies that I typically make, but it was just like it had that framework, it had the hops, it had the malt, it had the softness, but it just dropped off immediately and there was something lacking in the center of the beer. That's what I'm looking for changing on this one. Or I shouldn't look for anything, really. I should go in it with a fresh mind. Clear eyes, full heart. Can't lose. Yeah. Anyway. Looks the part of a hazy. Pinky finger, infinite creaminess. Maybe just off-white head, but it has that soft little haze to it. A little bit of orange core. She looks nice. It's good nose. It smells pretty good, to be perfectly honest with you. And it actually has this kind of nice green leaning to it. Yeah, this nice kind of weedy, sharp, vegetal, weedy on both ends of the spectrum, from pulling weed to smoking weed, this kind of sharp green, almost into the tomato stocky thing. I don't get that a lot nowadays. Get a lot of more kind of like true weed or just like green hot pelletiness. So it's giving me the greens that I really come to know and love that I haven't really got a ton of. With this soft little citrus fluttering on the edges. Yeah, it smells quite nice. It's not a big beer, right? 6.2. Just dive in. Cheers. Okay, first things first. Sabro's at play. So we're expecting those kind of soft, kind of coconut vibes. I didn't really get it on the nose. There's a little bit of it there. That green I talked about in there goes from that little bit of ranky, kind of weedy tomato stocky green into a hop out green with a little bit of carbonic acid. That feels nice. It's not fluffy or creamy or soft or word nerdy. It's not thin. It's just kind of soft, floating around there. A little bit of soft. It's almost like a peachy citrus for me now, as opposed to the nose where it's pretty much all citrus. It's like a soft peachiness. Done. It's still kind of missing something, man. And I went into this. Obviously, I'm bringing up past. I'm talking about what I thought about it in the past, and I think that's kind of warranted. But I go into these beers like, oh, okay, here we go. They're gonna knock it out of the park. It's still just missing something to me. It's like everything is still floating on the edges. And there's nothing of density in the middle. It's kind of like, I don't even know how else I could analogize it. I've talked about it ad nauseum. It's kind of like, imagine, you ever eat like a puff pastry and there's supposed to be something inside of it, but they forgot to put the filling inside? It's like that. I mean, I said donut earlier, now I'm talking about puff pastries, but that's the kind of thing I'm getting here. It's like a ravioli with no filling. You know, it's kind of like that kind of thing. It's like a pierogi without the potatoes. You know, it's like, because you could have that. You could be like, okay, I'm going to take this pierogi and I'm going to saute it with some butter and onions. I'm going to do all kinds of fun stuff. But I'm going to make sure it never breaks so it has this pocket in it that looks like it's full. And you're like, man, I'm going to eat this pierogi. And you eat it and you're like, wait, I just got the pasta shell and there's nothing inside. So the ancillary stuff has taste and fun and deliciousness and all that kind of stuff, but you're missing the core. You're missing the essence of what's supposed to be inside, and that's kind of where this kind of goes for me. It just kind of lacks that extra special something. It kind of makes these beers be what they are. And I feel bad. It's not like I'm sitting here, I'm like, I picked Civil Society just for fun. Be like, I'm going to shit on these guys' beers anytime I get them. Because I don't believe, and I don't view it that way. I say it as like a tongue-in-cheek joke. I don't believe I shit on anybody's beers. I just kind of talk about what I think about them. Who gives a fuck what I think about beers? But you kind of have to be that way, I think, because that's how you're honest. You just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But when you're constantly doing one particular brewery and you get a decent amount of it and over, you're just less than impressed. And it's not like this is a negative beer. It's not off. There's no off flavor. It's not going to drink it and be like, this is, I'm going to throw up or make funny faces like I'd be that much of an asshole. But it still feels poopy when you kind of, it seems like a constant pattern. But is the pattern me or them? Maybe it is me. Maybe they just have the specific style that I just can't click with. 'Tis what it is, but yeah, it just is what it is. Because even here, I mean, it's not like you're looking for coconut nut craziness. I mean, it's Sabro, it's a hop, it can impart those kind of flavors, but I think that's a layer on top of multiple layers of beers. I don't think you just throw Sabro on the beer and you just have coconut drink. I'm not that dumb. But you do look for those particular traits when someone calls out a specific beer or a specific hop in a beer, and it's really just coming off as a relatively hopped, not all that aggressive, kind of give you a little bit methadone-y level kind of hazy, and it is what it is. I'm sure some people love them, just not for me. So let's talk about it. It's one of the better IPAs I've had as of late now. Value and availability, no idea. Somebody out there in the FLA, because there's an FLA in Florida, right? It's FL. Let me know what's what and leave you with if you like what we like this beer. If you think the beers that I don't know why you do this, but if you watch my videos and you think that the hazies that I like suck and the ones that I think I'm not a big fan of, you'll like this one. So there we go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to check me out in the social media stuff, Beer Massive. If you want to check me out in the whole podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of haziness right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.